Now, first off, so I just finished the video, but I need to add a few tidbits of information at the start of the video to give you a clear explanation on a few little things. One, IPSWs have recently been screwed over with by Apple, and we didn't know if it was intentional or unintentional. It appears now that it was unintentional, as most IPSWs are actually downloadable now. So your IPSW for your device is probably available. You'll want to make sure to get 13.2.3 for your respective device, and you will want to make sure that you have a Windows and a Mac computer, or you can run a VM on your Mac. Another few things I want to say is I actually did find this, I guess, not really exploit or whatever, but I did find that Checkra1n did have the capability to boot a tether boot a device as long as the SCP was compatible. So that's pretty cool. I was actually the person who discovered that. And one more thing is, don't bug Sam about this. Like, don't bug him about Succession if it doesn't work for you. Comment in the comment section or reach out to me on Twitter if you have any issues. If everyone is having a similar issue and it's something that is logical enough that isn't actually a user error, I will tell Sam about it as like one comment instead of him having to go through like 20,000 of the same exact comment. And I'm sure he'll look at some of the comments on the video just for the heck of it. But yeah, thanks for watching. It is going to be a long one, but this is my first video of this sort, so hope you guys enjoy. So I'm making a video here to show you guys how to downgrade with Succession the proper way. And there's been an update pushed to Succession, so it is now completely functional to the completely functional that it was ever functional as before. This is probably not going to be a very perfect video, but I'm going to try my best, as this is like my first type of tutorial video. But as you can see, this device is on 13.2.3 and has full functionality. But if we go to Finder on my Mac, you will notice that this device is actually iCloud locked. As you can see, it is iCloud locked. I'm going to restore it to 13.3 and show you guys how I downgraded it to 13.2.3. Alright, so let's get into this. I just restored this device to 13.3, and I shall set it up and show you that it is indeed iCloud locked. And yeah, you can actually see that on the camera. So I'm showing you here that Checkra1n is on 13 point, or like this device is on 13.3 clearly. Now this bypass will require a few different tools, and both Windows and Mac. I'm currently running Parallels to emulate Windows to make the switching a lot easier, but this can be done by just unplugging the device from your Mac and plugging it into your Windows PC. And you will need to swap it a few times, but I've just shown you here that it is on 13.3. Now the first thing you will want to do, obviously, is to actually use Checkra1n to jailbreak the device. Once your device is jailbroken, you will need to connect it over to your Windows PC. I'm gonna just swap it over to my virtual machine. So now that it is connected, as you can see, iTunes popped up in the background and is like, hey, what's going on here? We are gonna close iTunes or minimize it, doesn't really matter. And we're gonna use the Shift key bypass for iCloud to get to the home screen to install Succession and other such things. So we're just going to bypass 13.3 to 13.3.1. As you can see, it automatically renamed it all to and made it go into the Preferences app, which is another way to bypass it. but it does it for you. And basically what you have to do is you have to set up a password. So I'm going to go with 11111 for now. And just you set up a passcode. You can also set up Touch ID if you wish. I'm just going to quickly set it up because it'll make things a lot easier for me without having to retype in 1111 every single time. Now what you'll do is respring the device using this tool. Now make sure to not respring the device through like killing the springboard or through Cydia ever, because it's not going to function properly. It's just going to enter a respring loop. And also make sure to set the auto lock to never, whenever. It doesn't really matter that you do it right now, but do it before running Succession. As you can see, the device just resprung, and it does take a while. But now you see it says press home to upgrade, and it asks for your password or Touch ID, which for some reason Touch ID is not working for me right now. But as you can see, I'm into the device. You will notice right away that you can't swipe up or down to access the control center or notification palette, but you will have a renamed CheckRain app to be able to install Cydia. What you want to do is you want to hit install Cydia instead of reinstall Cydia. Which the Cydia app that is currently there is modded so that you can easily open it up. Oh gosh. So now what you'll want to do is you'll want to ignore that temporarily, and you'll want to hit edit and hit add. Next you want to add Sam G is a ninja.github.io, and you just want to add that source. Next you'll want to install Filesa. You'll want to install Succession, and you can also upgrade all of these if you wish. After doing this, you will have to restart the springboard through the computer. The device is now respringing. And as you can see, we now have Filesa and Succession, but neither of them will be openable to begin with. Now what you'll want to do is you want to swap your device back over to your Windows computer. So I'm just going to disable it from being connected to that, and now it's connected back to my Mac. Next step is to open up iFunbox, which will be included in the package that I will let you download, that will be linked in the video description. Now first you'll actually want to hit trust on the iPhone so that it is kind of registered with your Mac, and then you'll just want to kind of you'll want to open up iFunbox either after that or reopen iFunbox. Now you'll notice the device is here. It says it's jailed. You'll want to go to the raw file system, and you will want to put a file in here that I will include in the package. It will be included the info plist for the modded Filesa. So you'll want to just drag and drop that there, and now that it's there, it's in the media directory of your device. So what you'll want to do now is open up the terminal and run iProxy 2222 and 44, which you will have to then, it'll be in a text file. all these commands. And then what you'll want to do is you'll want to SSH into your device. So if you get this error where it says remote host has changed, what you can do is just run rm-rf.ssh if you just opened your terminal and didn't CD anywhere. If you did CD somewhere, make sure to add a tilde and a slash, and then you can try this command again, and as you can see, now it works. Now that you're into the device, the password for it is Alpine by default, but most people know this at this point. If you don't, the password is Alpine. You will copy the file info plist from the var mobile media info.plist, which I will write this into the commands text. You'll want to copy that over to applications filesa.app and info.plist. Once that's done, you want to run UI cache, and then you will need to respring the device using your Windows PC. Once UI cache is finished, you can swap your device back over to your Windows PC. As you can see, I've disconnected it from here and I've connected it back over to my Windows-based PC, quote unquote. And then you will want to respring the device using this tool. Once you're back in the device after you've resprung, you should be able to open up Filesa. Once you're in Filesa, you can set everything up on your own without having to really worry about doing too much. The first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to go to the root directory and go to applications. Next, you'll want to go to successionrestore.app, and you'll want to modify this plist file and hit the I right beside the save button under root and go to the very bottom and hit add item. Now what you'll want to type in here is SB is launchable during setup. And you'll want to change it from a string to a boolean and hit the value as yes. Now what you can do is select all and hit copy, just so you have it in the future if you need to do this for other applications. Now what you'll want to do is you want to hit type and hit boolean and make sure the value is set to yes. Now you can back out of this and hit save, hit done, and do this for any applications you need all at once so that it is easier for you to do in the future. Now as you'll see, the home button doesn't work, so we don't have an easy way to go back to the lock screen. And the next thing we'll want to do is we'll want to swap the device back over to my Mac or your Mac or whatever, and you'll see the device appears there again. What you'll want to do is SSH back into the device and run another UI cache. Once the UI cache is finished, you can reconnect the device back over to your Windows machine or your virtual machine, either way, and hit respring. Now that the device has been resprung, Succession will actually be openable now. As you can see, it's openable. Now, the first few things, now we'll want to swap the device back over to the Mac, and we're going to need to do a few steps here. We're going to need to, first of all, make sure that Succession's modifications are done properly so that it restores the Wi-Fi driver. And we're also going to want to go to the Succession folder in the media directory, and we are going to want to send over an IPSW for iOS 13.2.3 over into the Succession folder. Now while that's happening, what we can do is we can SSH right back into the device, And what we can do is, well, one of the things you're going to have to do is check this thing that says only restore system data similar to restore rootfs. This will make it so that the device actually restores and doesn't restore back to 13.3. Another thing you will have to do is run, so you can actually get out of the application by typing kill all succession restore. That way you can actually go back to the home screen. Now you'll have to head back to Filesa and go to var, mobile, media, library, preferences, and you'll have to scroll all the way down if you organized it by name like I did. And now you'll see there's a plist file here called com.samg.succession restore. You'll want to head in here and change this thing that says unofficial tethered downgrade compatibility, and you'll want to change the value from a 0 to a 1 and hit save in that plist file. Once that's done, you can kill Filesa by typing kill all Filesa, and now that's done. So now all we're doing is we're waiting for the IPSW to finish copying over, and we can actually prepare the restore/downgrade. Now that the IPSW is copied over, feel free to open up Succession and make sure that you set the auto lock to never, just in case you don't touch the device and it locks, because then it won't actually show you anything on the screen and then you're not sure if anything's happening. Make sure that this setting is checked, and make sure that you did the other setting that I just showed you how to do in the plist file. And now you'll see it says IPSW detected. What you'll do, you'll hit dismiss, you'll hit download clean file system, and what you'll do is you'll say use that IPSW. And then what you'll have to do is you'll have to go back in here and use provided IPSW. You hit override. Now keep in mind, if you're doing this on a device that is not iCloud locked, you can technically tether downgrade with this method, but it is a tethered downgrade. So if your device is not checkmate compatible, so for example a 10R or 10S or 10S Max or iPhone 11, 11 Pro or 11 Pro Max, do not attempt this. I don't know how you would have a jailbreak on the 11s, but that's just for the future. If that happens, don't try downgrading your device if it does not have a way to tether boot, because then you will just simply have to restore with iTunes or Finder, whichever. Now that the IPSW has been verified, now you'll get put back to this screen once you hit back. Now you'll hit prepare for restore, and then you will hit erase iPhone and hit begin restore. This will take, it depends on your device, but on this device I think it will take approximately 5 to 10 minutes. On your device it may vary, but it will take a little bit of time. The progress bar isn't too accurate on this, but that, like, nobody really cares about the progress bar. Just wait, and once the device is done restoring, I will resume. Once the restore completes, wait for this to finish, and I believe the device will reboot on its own. Once the device powers off, you will hold the lock button while your device is plugged in so that it enters recovery mode and you can boot it using checkring. Now, if you want to be able to install Cydia with this device, for the first time you boot it, you will need to boot it using checkring 0.92 beta. So I'm going to run the first version of Checkra here, and it is a little bit of a different setup process compared to doing this with the newest version. It's a little bit more tedious on the newer phones. Mode, it won't actually be able to see that it's on a newer version, but it will still work with the newer version. So we'll hold the side button for 6 seconds. And we're going to hold the side button and volume button together, and then let go of the side button but keep holding the volume down button. And we have successfully entered DFU mode. You will now see the device go through its first boot, and since you have a password set up, there will actually be a different setup process compared to restoring with iTunes. Now you'll press home to upgrade and you'll enter your password that you set on this device. And it'll go through this process. You'll now see that we are in the setup app, which it will obviously end up on an activation lock device. So the next step is obviously to open up your terminal again and restart iProxy and SSH right back into the device. And from here, you'll want to run the standard run-of-the-mill mount the file systems. And then you'll want to rm-rf/applications setup app. Then you'll want to run UI cache. Now you'll want to kill all backboard. I misspelled backboard. Backboard D. You'll want to kill it. And then boom. You have a fully functional, to the extent that it is possible to be fully functional, iPhone that has been bypassed, and it is now on 13.2.3. And you can open up Checkra and install Cydia. And from here on out, once you install Cydia, you can boot this device using the latest version of Checkra and not have any issues. With the latest version of Checkra, if you just booted it right off the bat, you wouldn't actually be able to install Cydia, as it would see an OTA image or something like that, which isn't actually present. But there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed.